Hi, I'm Unique Model, aka Shantae Renee Positivity, and this is a channel for love and for healing. I want you to know that love begins with you, and it absolutely does. Be the love you want to see manifest in your life, and it will come. So this is the first video that I am doing related to traumas. I got this message. I mean, I've had this message for a while, but I got a message that I was going to start diving into traumas that I have actually been through that have led to different, I'm getting behaviors and things that have come up in my life to direct me on my path, get me off my path, get me back on my path, and just the way I went about living life. So these are truths that actually did happen for me. And my earliest memories were like from the age of 3. So this is something that actually did happen. It happened back in 1980. And this was a catalyst for the trajectory of my life. And as I see 111, so it's a new beginning for me. And I'm being a lot vulnerable. Now, I have talked about this before, but I did it tipsy. And I said if I do it tipsy, I can do it sober. So, the only thing I'm hopped up on right now is caffeine. So, anywho, getting to the message. So, me growing up, or being born into my family, I should say. My mom and my dad, they were actually married at the time. And around the age of 3, my mom attempted to unalive herself. So I don't know YouTube how they are with the words that you can and cannot use, so I'm going to try to be as specific as possible and try not to use those words because I won't get flagged. But she did, she tried to, which in turn, when you think of generational curses, I actually tried to. So that will be discussed too in this series, because it's going to be like a little series. I may do like one video a week because this stuff is heavy. So at the age of 3, my mom did that. And I remember visiting her in the hospital. And I'm 3. I remember these things. I remember she had the marks on her body from like when you're being monitored, when they're monitoring your vital signs. And I remember seeing those. I remember her just being kind of quiet. I remember the cookies from the facility and the juice. And I had asked another cousin because they went to visit too, so they remember those things too. So I'm like, I know I'm not crazy, but so she was in a depressed state of mind where she felt like she had no other choice. And so she did those things, and that actually affected me and my brother. My brother is no longer with us, but at the time he was still here. And side note, my mom told me when she was pregnant with me, she was very, very happy. But when she was pregnant with my brother, she was depressed. So there was a stark difference in the way I was and the way he was. Like, I was very independent as a child, and he was very clingy. But it was because of the state that she was in when she was pregnant with each of us. So that just may be a side note for someone. So my mom had to stay in the hospital for a while, and I remember, her not being at the house. So one day, I remember me and my brother were at the house alone, and we couldn't get out. I'm 3, my brother is 2 years younger than me, so he's about 1. So my father left us in the house, and I remember, I'm trying to talk about a little bit louder because the air conditioner just came on. And I remember one of my uncles, one of my dad's brothers, coming to get us, and he ended up not being able to, because we couldn't open the door. My dad had locks that you had to use a key from the inside to get out, so we couldn't open the doors. So we escaped through the windows, which in the kitchen, the windows were kind of high. So we had to stand on something, and my uncle literally got us out of the house through the windows. I don't know how they knew we were in the house by ourselves. I don't know what transpired, whether somebody called, I answered the phone. Knowing me, I probably did answer the phone. Because I don't think I could call anybody at 3. I don't know. My mama said I was a smart baby, so I don't know. So I don't know how long we were in the house. I just know that one of my uncles, he stood on his car and he got us out through the window. So there was the wound of neglect and abandonment that were imparted upon both of us at that time, at very, very young ages. So that was a trauma that both of us actually experienced, that would lead to further compounding that, making it true throughout the stages of our lives. So that happened, and that's where I noticed, well, not noticed, but it came to me, that's where my anxious attachment came from. Not knowing if someone was always going to be there, because being neglected, being abandoned, not having needs met, because in that space my mom couldn't do it. I barely remember my father as a child, unless it was something bad, him and my mom arguing or something, or fighting, physical fighting, or him doing things to the house to make it inhabitable for us to be there. So that we will go into that later on in this series. So not having our needs met as young children reinforces that our needs may not be met as we get older, as a adolescent, teenager, young adult, old adult, through life. It most of the time starts very, very young, and some people don't actually realize that the family dynamic that they grew up in, they don't realize that it shapes them, but it also traumatizes them, and you don't know until you know. Because I didn't know how toxic my family was until I actually moved back and I started having my spiritual awakening. I didn't realize that, how toxic they were. You know, I'm just thinking how I grew up was pretty normal. Everybody grows up like this. Everybody don't grow up like that. But I know what happened to me actually happened for me, because I would not be the person that I am today, and trying to help other people as well as I'm helping myself and healing myself. So yes, trauma starts very early, and I just wanted to share a bit of it, and I'm going to do a bit at a time, because I don't want to do it every day, because this is like, it's kind of like a heavy subject, and I ain't trying to be down all week, you know, for several days at a time, because I am an empath and I pick up on my own energy and the other energies. So, you know, whoever sees this, they may feel some type of way. I'm going to feel it. So I ain't trying to do that to myself several days a week. So that is all I have for this message, I believe. Just some trauma things that you can look up: emotional neglect, abandonment, anxious attachment style, where you kind of like latch onto a person and you just like, they have to like calm your nervous system, because you have not been able to self-regulate, which is a real thing. You can get to a place where you can start self-regulating. I'm actually in the process of doing this, but it's been happening over several years, and because of the move that I just had, I had to self-regulate now, and because I'm in more of a calm environment, my nervous system was not used to it, so I had to figure out, the calm felt weird. I'm just gonna say that, the calm felt weird. So I'm actually getting I'm here acclimated to it now. So that is all I have for this message. I probably will do another message similar to this next week. Hopefully YouTube won't flag me for this, and yeah, this is my story. So all right, Cindy, you love and healing. I appreciate you. Make sure you appreciate yourself, and remember, happiness is homemade. Feed yourself some good shit. Mind, body, and spirit. Have a good day. Bye.